Hello and welcome to the first writing vlog of 2023. Pardon the gross look. I worked a 14.5-hour shift last night, slept for about 5 hours, and here we are. But it's all good because we have coffee. So today, or in this vlog, I guess, I am going to be plotting my new fantasy project. I say it's new because I haven't really talked about it too much. I do have one video talking about this project and how I'm going about plotting it, but it has been several months since I have worked on this project, so I have no idea where I was going with these ideas. I have no idea where I left off, what I was thinking about. So today, I just want to spend a couple of hours just going through all of my notes, going through some of my writing craft books, trying to get back into the headspace of this story so then I can get back into actually plotting it. I do want to get into the specifics of what I want to focus on in my plotting and in this vlog in particular, but right now, I just need to wake up again and just go through everything. So I'm gonna go through my Pinterest board, go through my Google document. With this story, I have just one Google document and I have everything in it right now. I need to go through that. I have a playlist on YouTube. I will link it down below if you're curious about what I'm going to be listening to for this first writing session, but I have a couple of hours slotted off where I just want to re-immerse myself into this story. Even though I've been taking a break and I haven't been working on this project for a really long time, the story that I have been drafting, it is so different from this story. So I really need to take my time and really figure out where I'm going with this story. Plotting this story, I don't have a lot done with it. It's still a newborn. It's still in very, very early stages, like original, raw, surface level ideas. I need to jump into, I say a first sprint, but I'm just gonna go as long as I feel like I need to get back into the flow of this, even though I think my partner's gonna be home in about an hour. So I might only have an hour to work on this right now, but I think that's all I need at the moment, maybe 2 hours. So I'm going to do all of that I just said and check in with you guys once I have a much better idea of the story I want to tell and then how I want to proceed with the areas I want to focus on for plotting. I'll see you in a bit. So it feels a lot later than it actually is since my last check-in. It has been about an hour. I spent that time going through all of my notes, everything that I wrote, try and get back into the headspace, listening to my playlist for Project Ice, and I forgot how much I really love this story, or at least the ideas and what I'm trying to do. I'm very pleased with it. So far, I have about 3 different storylines that all interconnect with each other. There's 2 different people who are probably going to be my main characters, and then there's another story that is weaving in the background, but it's the one that's like setting everything else in motion. So I love those 3 ideas. I think there's a lot of potential with those 3 storylines. So I've gone through all of that, some of my notes, and I've started to write out in my notebook kind of like a timeline of what I want to happen. Originally, when I was plotting out this story a couple of months ago, I wanted there to be 2 different timelines, and I don't know if that's going to be too much with this story. We might just have to X that out, but we'll see what happens. It's still a very new idea, new brainstorming and everything, so it's still in the early works where anything is still on the table, but we need to start weaning things out and figuring out what needs to be homed in. I have revisited my main character, my ideas for her. I think that it's already a stronger idea than my other 2 projects. So using all the projects I've written in the past, using the mistakes and the things that I feel like I've done correctly with those stories and applying it to this one, I already feel like these ideas are a lot stronger. A few months ago, I had written out some of these ideas and then had asked myself, like, why does this happen? Or what comes next? Or what came before? So I've been spending this time answering those questions too, or asking more questions and trying to put the puzzle pieces together. I still have no idea how the story is going to end, but we're taking the baby steps to get there. I don't have to know the ending right now, but I think the start of this story, at least Act 1 feels pretty solid, or at least maybe the first part of Act 1 feels pretty solid. So I'm just continuing to work through it. I think for the rest of today, I want to work on it for a little bit more, but I'm making supper. I need to revisit my characters and figure out what their motivations are. And those can be something that change later on, but I need some type of motive for my characters. And I want to focus on like the story promises, what is the payoff, and the progress of the story. I don't know if you've ever watched any of Brandon Sanderson's writing lectures online, but he talks about the 3 Ps, which is your promise, your progress, and your payoff. So those are the things that I'm going to be focusing on for the next couple of days, as well as character motivations. But this is going to be my last update for tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow, or I'll see you when I see you. So hello, this clip is a little dark, but I just woke up, as you can probably tell. It's been a few days since my last little update with you guys, and since I've last written. It's like 4:30 in the afternoon, and I've been working for the last 3 nights, so I slept for a little bit today. Now I'm awake, and here I am. But I just want to talk to you guys about what I've been working on, how I'm feeling about the writing that I'm doing, well, the plotting that I'm doing right now. But so far, it's been great on the plotting front. I did a live stream with my friend Sarah, and we did 3 30-minute writing sprints, which was amazing. We were not thinking we were gonna do a 3rd sprint, but I like sprung it on her at the last second. She was super excited. So we ended up doing 3 30-minute sprints, and I have been working through character motivations for each of my main characters. I think another thing I need to focus on too is trying to figure out like character names, but only so I can start piecing together the characters a little bit better and what their purpose in the story is. I've also been bebopping around to the main plot of the story too, and something that I've realized is an issue with me when I'm trying to work through the main plot of the story. I tend to focus more on like the beginning and a little bit of Act 2. I wrote this down in my journal for this story, but one thing that I need to make sure I focus on is carrying that plot through the entire story. So all the way through Act 2 and all the way through Act 3. That's something that I need to make sure that I kind of solidify for now for the first draft, because in the past when I have focused on the main plot, it's really just been for the first half of the story, and then I feel like my main plot struggles to continue and to have its overarching effect through the rest of the story. I need to just make sure I flesh it out so it's a little bit cleaner throughout the entire story. That's what I'm trying to say, and I feel like I just said that 3 times. I need to make a little bit of coffee, and I think I said it's like 4:30. Yeah, it's 4:26. I have probably about an hour and a half before my partner gets home to work on writing. So I want to work on writing now. I'm still doing like the same things today. So still working on character motivations, trying to find some names for those characters, and working through that main plot. Why is something making a weird noise? That's making a weird noise. Can you hear that? That sounds creepy. I don't like that. That freaks me out a little bit. That's what I'm going to work on. It's kind of messy right now, just working on whatever. There's really no set thing, because I just feel like I'm working on a puzzle right now, and then instead of working on, oh, the top corner and then working my way this way, I'm like working on the puzzle, but I'm throwing some things over here, throwing some things over here, and slowly starting to build the puzzle. It's a little messy right now with just bebopping around with everything. I wondered why it was so dark outside. It's been raining. Maybe that's why I slept so well. Wow, it's so dark now. It's crazy. So the lighting's probably not gonna be really good. So I have been working on this for about an hour. It's like 5:45, and the progress that I have been making is steady. In one of my previous videos back, like when I shared how I'm plotting this story, hang on, let me put you down. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how I'm plotting this story, and I shared some snippets of the document that I'm using for this story. And what I find very interesting is a lot of those ideas that I shared in that video, or at least that I had at that time back in August, are morphing into something that's a little bit tighter and maybe it flows a little bit better. I guess that's what I mean too. I have been kind of weaning out ideas that I don't think will quite fit into this story, which I expected because a lot of those ideas, I was just kind of like brainstorming and info dumping those ideas just to see potential story ideas, potential ways that I could have the story change. And so I threw a lot of ideas down into that document, knowing that some of those ideas probably won't stick or they'll morph into something that's a little bit stronger and a little bit tighter and fits the story. I think I'm gonna be done for the night. So I did about an hour of work on this project. I was listening to my playlist, which was awesome. Now I am going to go have supper with not my partner, because my partner's still at work. I am gonna go with my brother and his wife. I think I'm updating you guys tomorrow, so I'll see you then. And until then, take care. Ignore like the mound of stuff behind me. It's been rough around here these last few weeks, okay? It's hard when both parties work 50 hours a week. Things tend to pile up. I need to get in this cabinet. Writing yesterday went really well. I worked a little bit on character motivations. I actually don't have plans to write today. I've got to go get my oil changed in my car. I have a package I need to send off to my cousin. I've got a lot of other stuff that I need to get done today. The lighting over here is not super great, but it is just gonna have to be what it is. So it's like 8:30 in the morning right now. Did I already heat up my bagels? I actually don't have plans on writing today. I have some other chores and errands and things that I have to run today. So I'm going to have to do all of that because I only have today and tomorrow, and then I go back to work for 4 straight nights for like 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours. It's going to be a busy upcoming week with work, and I'm going to be exhausted at the end of that. So I know I need to get a lot done this week because I'm not going to want to do it when I come home from working 4 straight night shifts. But writing wise, so far I'm feeling pretty good with this story. I know a lot of the ideas that I'm thinking about are surface level. It'll be okay. I think for the first draft, I did use my notebook and I have been trying to plot out what's going to happen for Act 2 and Act 3. I have like I say a very vague idea, and that's being kind to myself. I think I need to nail down what story A is and what story B is. If you're not quite sure what I'm really talking about with that, what's the external story? What are we seeing on the outside? And then story B is what's the internal story? I need to, I think, work on those things a little bit more. Try to just play around with ideas, write some ideas out. I think that's what I need to do too. Maybe do like a 1-page essay or summary. I guess that's what I should say. Essay makes it sound like it's a school project. I have made a plot grid in Google Sheets, but I totally forgot that I don't think I'm gonna have enough space in each of the blocks in Sheets. So I think I wanna make it a grid in Google Docs, and I'm more familiar with working with doing that in Google Docs. I'm out of butter knives, so I'm using a steak knife to smear on my cream cheese, but it's okay. Let me do it off camera so you're not judging me. Or you can still judge me, it's fine. I've been just going back and listening to the playlist a little bit too. I made a playlist on YouTube, and I have an entire playlist of just straight fantasy music. I've been going back and listening to some of those tracks that I have in there too. I think I have that playlist public, so if you listen to fantasy music, if you write fantasy and you're looking for new fantasy music, I have an entire playlist. I'll link it down below. That's what we've got going on. I gotta get going, but I'll see you guys in a bit. Several hours later since I have given you guys my last update. I have my hand over this because it's got my location on it, and I don't feel like changing my shirt right now. I am about to do some writing tonight. I didn't think I was going to be able to get some writing in, but I've done everything, sort of. I had it where I wanted to work out today. It's an excuse, 110% it's an excuse, but I'm kind of anxious about working this weekend, so I I don't feel like I would have the best workout. I did not sleep the best last night. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't want to, but I mean, I don't want to, but I have been into a really good habit of working out and I need to get back to it, but I don't think this is going to be the week that I am getting back in to working out. I'm going to be productive and I am going to do some writing. I'm going to continue working on the characters and just kind of bebopping around with the plot. I'm sitting at my desk today, or for this session, because I've been sitting outside in the living room and I like sitting there, but I want to mix up the scenery a little bit. It's a little past 7 p.m. now and I don't know when my partner is gonna get home, so I don't know how long I'm going to write, but I want to try to get in as much as I can until they get home. Oh man, I look like a disaster in this update. So it's the next day and it's about 11:30 and you're crooked. I sat down to write last night after I gave the update, pulled up all of my documents, started my music playlist, and I was going through my Pinterest board. Literally 5 minutes later, my partner came home. So I ended up not working on anything for writing yesterday, which was the 26th. That was kind of like a spur of the moment type thing because I had everything else that was finished and then I didn't get to writing. It is what it is. I do have plans to write today. I do have some household chores that need to get done as well. I want to spend another 30 minutes working on editing this video and then I need to move on and work on other things. That's what we've got going on and let's get to it.